lot of welcome back viewers. For the first recipe, Franca's going to show us croquettes. Croquettes in French, croquette in northern Italy. But what do they call them?
But in Pianopoli, where my hometown is, we call them
Catanzaro.
bracciole. Provincia Catanzaro, we call them bracciole.
And what does that mean? Anything that's sort of round this shape?
And elongated.
Elongated shape.
Yes.
Bracciole.
Bracciole.
So they're pretending to be northern Italian croquettes.
Yes. So we can make them. You can make them of meat, of potato only, of rice only. But tonight I'm actually making bracciole di patate riso.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Bracciole di patate e riso. In English we call them potato and rice croquettes. The ingredients for these are basically potatoes. The recommended ones are Desiree, the red potatoes, simply because they contain less water. Medium grain rice, not long grain because it doesn't bind well together, and not arborio because it tends to get too cluggy. So medium grain rice, some grana padano grated cheese, parsley, some crushed garlic, a little salt, and they're basically the ingredients that you need for this ever popular recipe of bracciole. Whilst the potatoes are cooking, at this stage you put on your rice. Medium grain rice, just if you're doing it for the first time, start off with 500 grams of rice, and you put it with abundant boiling water, half a teaspoon of salt in the water, and a nice sprig of parsley for taste. You boil that, continuously stirring it, and you take it off the boil and strain it when it is al dente. Once your potatoes are fully cooked, then you strain them in a colander and you leave them to cool off. When you can manage them, you pick them up with a fork and you actually peel the potatoes and mash them with a potato masher so that the potato is nice and fine and you don't get lumps in your bracciole. Our potatoes are now mashed. They're nice and dry and cooled down. We're just going to take them out of the masher and we're going to start adding our other ingredients. Our next ingredients which we're adding is our boiled, cooled rice. We'll just take out our sprigs of parsley because we'll be adding in fresh parsley later. These were only put in the boil for flavour. So we can easily pick them out. That's why we put in some big sprigs, just for flavour. Now we add our rice to our potatoes. Freshly grating some nice grana padano cheese, very tasty for our bracciole. For that dosage, about 3/4 of a cup. That will give it a lovely flavour, and decided to grate it nice and fresh. So we add that to our mix. This stage we'll sprinkle a little salt on it. I would say about a half a teaspoon. Bearing in mind we've already put salt in the boiling water with the potatoes and a little in the boil of the rice, and also the cheese will actually give it a lot of flavour, so not too much salt. The next ingredients, we add our eggs. I'll just cut them, break them one at a time just to test them. So that's one. The reason why I break the eggs individually into a bowl first before adding it to my mixture is just in case the egg is not quite right. I don't want to ruin all my mixture. So at this stage I'm only adding 2 eggs to my mixture because I don't want to make it too sloppy. As I'm working through my mixture and binding it together, then I will work out if I need an extra egg. Next we'll add to our ingredients some fresh parsley, some nice garden parsley. We'll cut off the stalks and we'll chop the parsley as fine as we can because we don't want big pieces of parsley into our mouth. So we're just going to chop it up really, really fine. This chopped parsley will add a touch of beautiful flavour to our croquettes. Next to my ingredients, I'm adding a clove of garlic. I will only add 1 clove because this is quite strong because it's garden grown. So therefore it is very, very tasty and quite a nice strong flavour. So with my crusher, I will just crush it so it is nice and fine. Now that I have all my ingredients ready, I am going to bind it all together. The secret is to bind it together really, really well. And then we'll proceed to shape our potato croquettes and fry them in our hot vegetable oil. Every gathering, my mum would make sure that we'd have the potato and rice bracciole, which was certainly a must on every gathering table and was certainly a favourite with everyone, especially the children. They would just eat them like lollies. And I do think that 2 eggs is plenty. I'm very happy with my mixture. It's all very combined very well. Has a good feel and a look, and I'm ready to shape my croquettes. I've just ran my hands through some water just to clean off any excess rice on them and just to make them nice and smooth. And I'll just take 1 pinch of the mixture at a time and roll them in a croquette shape. And when I have a few ready, I will start frying. I would imagine they're about 2 to 3 inches in size, and the idea is you try and get them all the same shape and size. A little tedious, but I'm sure it is all worth it in the long run, especially if you're eating them hot. I don't really think you can stop at 2 or 3. You'll just keep going. Once I have shaped all my bracciole, I will put them in the hot vegetable oil. You have to make sure that it is quite hot. We don't want them lying there, otherwise they absorb a lot of oil. We want a quick fry, so we don't actually absorb a lot of oil. Once they're golden on both sides, not too dark, not too light, we then lift them out slowly and carefully, and we place them on some absorbent paper to remove any excess oil. So these bracciole are delicious both hot and cold. They're great for part of an antipasto platter, as snacks, for parties, for the beach, for picnics. They are a true favourite, and these are my bracciole di patate e riso. Give you a sample. Enjoy.
Molto buone, speciale,
Sì.
delicious.
Molto buone.
Enjoy. Thank you, Franca.
Enjoy.
Very nice.
Oh, Franca, that was a fantastic recipe. I don't call that street food. I call that gourmet food.
It is.
Beautiful. Listen, do they ever fall apart, or are you always lucky that they stick together?
Oh, well, there's a bit of a knack, and you've got to use the right potatoes with less water. The Desiree are really nice potatoes.
Yeah.
But they're a very popular food, especially with the children, and we mainly make them for festas or when the family get together.
Yeah.
And also they're great for picnics. They're
Yeah.
just nice finger food.
Yeah.
Wholesome. Wholesome.
Yum, yum, yum. Anyway, we're going to go to another short break, and then what are we going to do when you come back?
Pignolata.
La pignolata.